All right, this is the New Jersey Hoop Show. I'm with Robert from It's All About Sports, Robert Paige, and we're going to kind of simulcast this show because he has his show. I want to talk about the previous games. We're talking about the Tournament of Champions. Let's do Camden Elizabeth first. My take was Elizabeth fought hard. They had zero margin of error. Camden could mess around and make mistakes because they were that good. But the biggest play was the ATN turnover to Wagner, who dunked, gave you the lead. I thought it kind of relaxed you guys. You were able to go on 13-3 run and take the game home.
Yes, that is absolutely correct. Elizabeth and Coach Phil did a great job coaching the team. They made shots, made big plays in the first half also, and in the third quarter. Some great plays he set up to offset the Camden big man and didn't pull them outside, and nobody will come out and pick up that man, which was disastrous for Camden because it gave Elizabeth big confidence. They were sinking the threes, and it didn't look good for 3.5 quarters of that game.
I think for 3.5 quarters, well, for 2 quarters, Camden gambled. They had a little zone press. They figured they could get Elizabeth in a lot of steals, but Elizabeth was disciplined, and they burned Camden a lot. And the backup big man, which didn't score a lot, Beverly scored a lot because he was able to get fast break points. Camden settled down and went man. And then DeJuan Wagner guarded Sebastian. The one fear that I knew would come to pass, it did, you guys knew Sebastian. That's why he wasn't going to go off like he did. Everybody else, you knew where he liked. You knew his spots. You know how he liked to pull up. So a lot of times you were able to guess correctly and gave him a lot of trouble. Now, ETN and Carson stepped up and kept Elizabeth in the game, but that was huge. That was my worry because you knew him. And that's what concerned, and DJ did a good job in the second half.
Well, DJ did what he had to do as an All-American, Gatorade New Jersey Player of the Year again for the second year in a row. When his teammates were down, he came and rose to the occasion. Scored 30, played a hell of a game, made some big shots, and he carried the weight until the rest of his team got on track. When he got on track, he made sure they got the ball and did what they had to do. So it was a great game. And a lot of growth you see in DJ Wagner in that game.
I thought Elizabeth dug up in Camden more than any other team, and Camden didn't respond as good. But what kept them, more than DJ, what kept them afloat and kept them from being upset was Bradshaw's shot blocking, offensive rebound. He was getting the ball off of penetration and dunking, using his height to his advantage, and I thought he did that all game with the 10 points and 13 rebounds. I thought he was very big in this game.
Well, then, also, I'll bring up there was a huge change in the game when the defense of Sion Medley, too, also out front.
Yes.
On the point guard of Elizabeth, causing him to turn the ball over. And that one time he went and made that big steal from the backside, went in for the layup, was huge also in the game. So, Camden players may not have played the greatest game, and that could have been also the effects of the Elizabeth defense, who played great defense.
I think Elizabeth defensively, matchup-wise, is a tougher matchup for Camden than Roselle Catholic. Roselle Catholic got more guys and more players, so they're going to score more. But I think Perkins and those guys, Fleming, Perkins, and all the rest of the players are going to be able to get a couple more baskets. They didn't respond well to what Elizabeth did, other than Wagner and Bradshaw. But I think they're going to be a little better this game. But now you're going to have to, because Roselle Catholic brings way more to the table offensively with their bigs and, Lawrence and Welcher.
Well, I think it's being offset there also. No offense to the Roselle team or Coach Dave, but Dave Buff. But I do know that Elizabeth's defense is probably a lot tougher than the Roselle's defense. Roselle has a tendency to start off slow in the first half, get behind in teams, and then end up coming back and winning. I don't think they can afford to do that against Camden. I mean, yes, they met first game of the season. It was a 3-point win, 67-64 for Camden. in Camden's gym, on ESPN, big time. Both teams' first game of the season. Heard y'all playing the last game of the season. But I think a big difference is now is that Camden had a lot of games under their belt, and so did Roselle. I think we're going to see a great game.
I do too. Now let's go to Roselle Catholic and Bergen Catholic. Bergen Catholic had a 5-point lead. I said they're in trouble because Roselle Catholic started out slow. Bergen Catholic didn't take full advantage and go up 10 or 11 and put a lot of pressure on him. Will Richardson was ice cold. He's a good kid, and he's a great player. He went 4 of 18, had a bad game, which is rare because he usually plays good in big games. Brown played well, but once Roselle Catholic got the lead, that was it. 26-4 run in the third quarter, and they looked discouraged. It's like Bergen Catholic looked at the game and said, here we go again. We're not going to win this game. And then that's the way I felt. I don't know how you felt once Roselle Catholic got the lead.
I felt the same way. I think that that was their 4th meeting of the season, and all 4 meetings came out to end up being that way. I mean, Bergen was winning in the first half again, like I said, against Roselle, and then Roselle just pushed their foot down. And it seems like Roselle plays where they want to play when they know they have to play. Mm-hmm. But I will tell you, tomorrow at 2 o'clock, they have to come to play from the first minute of the game.
They will, and Camden will. See, Camden will put their foot on you. Roselle Catholic will put their foot on you. They know that if Roselle Catholic puts their foot on Camden, Camden's come right back, and vice versa. So this probably is going to be about 2 minutes left, 64-64. Then it comes down to foul shots and who can execute in the half court and not make that mistake and not make that turnover and make that big shot or make that big offensive rebound, because both teams both Watsons are good at the offensive rebounds, but Camden is too. So that's why it's such a good matchup.
Yes, most definitely. It's a great matchup. Like I said, first game of the season, last game of the season. You could have it no other way. Number 5 team ranked in high schools in the nation against number 8 team in the nation. This is probably the biggest game of the weekend across the USA.
Absolutely. But the one thing you got your advantage, and you told me this after the first game, Camden didn't have a lot of practice that first game. They didn't look as crisp as they do now. They looked like they were just coming together. Now, Roselle Catholic, Lawrence got better from that game, but the Camden players got a lot more better. I give them a slight edge, and this is for the city, man. This is the last one. This could show that maybe you're the best public school team over the last 40 years. Elizabeth, Camden. Linden had a little bit of run, not as long as the Elizabeth and Camden did over the 80s, but this will really be great for your city and really put a stamp on the program.
Yes, indeed it will. Yeah, they did. When they did play the first time, all Camden did have was a lot of practice. They had one scrimmage, which was actually 10 days before that game. And that's tough coming into a game of that magnitude. First game of the season, scrimmage 10 days before that game, and it's on ESPN. Yeah, you have an advantage because in your gym, but still the Camden came out flat. Like you said, they weren't real crisp, but they did come on in the last 2 minutes of that game and take the lead and win by 3. Then this time, you probably can, yes, give Camden the advantage. Their season, they're ready. They had some tough games. I mean, they came into the tournament on fire. The first 3 games averaged 98.3 points a game, just blowing everybody away. And then last game, Elizabeth was the closest game they actually had.
Yeah, but that's going to be good for them. To get punched in the face by Elizabeth gets them ready. Okay, we've been cruising. They hit us. We survived, not playing our best game. We survived that. Now, let's go for Roselle Catholic. Now, if Roselle Catholic wins, that would be their 4th TOC, and they've made like a mini St. Anthony's, St. Pat's kind of run, the way they've been winning.
Yeah, yes, they have. They've been looking forward to this day. They've battled through all the storms through the season, through their county tournament, which is tough. Their conference is tough. Same as Camden, their conference is tough. Both teams, had rough schedules, but here we are.
Mm-hmm.
coming down to the last game of the season, the big Mohegan at Rutgers tomorrow at 2 o'clock, and I just can't wait to get there to see it.
You know, both teams expect to win, so the loser is going to be heartbreaking. The winner is going to be SSC because now you're the number one team in the state. Camden, the public school. There's 2 public school titles, which no public school has, TOC, or Roselle Catholic, their 4th one, and they're the last TLC champ, and they made this long run of all these championships. So somebody's going to be happy. Somebody's going to have their heart broken.
Yes, most definitely. You know, someone has to lose, someone has to win. That's the way it is. Wow, what more can you say? Camden has a team full of juniors. They'll all come back again next year. They could be a repeat champion. I know we're looking far ahead, but the potential is there. Roselle, I mean, with Welcher coming back, I mean, we may see these 2 teams there again next year.
Absolutely, but who's going to win tomorrow, man?
Well, you know, I'm a Camden man. I'm not being biased, none whatsoever. I can't be biased, but Camden has been 10 points better than anybody that they play all season. That's just how it is on paper. Coming into tomorrow, it's going to be tough. I think Camden by 6.
I said Camden by 2. Camden by 2 with seconds left. All-time classic. Thanks a lot, Robert. You are the man, and you know, I'm looking forward to doing more venture stuff with you. It's all about sports. Check him out.